Hey everyone, welcome to So Cute by Katie on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to be talking about how to embroider Advent Calendar ornaments. This is a design by Designs by Juju. I'll put the link to it in the comments below. But it's a cute little set. It gives you the pattern on how to make the Christmas tree and the pockets and the ornaments for the Advent calendar. So these are some of the ornaments that I've already made. We were about halfway through, so I just thought I would show you step-by-step instructions. Each ornament has a buttonhole. I haven't opened this one, so if you just take your seam ripper, I'll go ahead and open this one. But each ornament will button on the tree. Just carefully open it. But just open your buttonhole, but each ornament has a little buttonhole that you put on. So all kinds of fun things. The hardest part about putting this together is actually picking what fabric I want to use for each ornament. So that's been the biggest challenge because they're all so cute. And then the other part that we'll be making are the pockets, the numbered pockets for the countdown to Christmas. So right now we're just working on the ornaments. So the first thing that we need to do is get our 4x4 embroidery hoop and a piece of tearaway stabilizer. So we want to hoop up a piece of tearaway. Make sure it's nice and tight. Then we need 2 pieces of fabric that will fit and cover our 4x4 hoop right here. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this in here. I have another piece cut, and then I also need a piece of quilt batting just that will fit right in there as well, just a 4x4 piece of batting. And then the other thing I'm going to be using are my double curved scissors that I'm going to be trimming around the ornament as we do it. So our next step is we're going to go head over to the embroidery machine and pull up our design, and we'll get started. Okay, our next step is we're going to pull up our the next design that we want to do. Show it right here. So this right here is showing what's on the screen, and this is going to be a cute little mouse, and we want to make sure that we have all of our colors set up. So I need to add the gray onto the machine. So let me get that switched out, and I'll show you how to do that as well. To open a new thread color. Okay, the easiest way to change our thread color is we want to come over here, pull a little excess off. I'm just going to cut that and leave a long tail. Put my other color on the machine, and then we will tie a knot. And then come over here and we will pull it through the machine and get that new thread color on here. Okay, now that we have that threaded, let's go back to our colors. Okay, so let's see, make sure we have our green. Our gray is actually on 2. Okay, now I want to show you something here on the screen. You can't see it, the color is so light, but the very first stitch that this does is a placement stitch. I actually do this and let it sew the material down, and then I skip step number 2 because it does the exact same thing, or you can advance to it. Now you can see it in green. It does the exact same thing. So it's very helpful, like if you wanted to pre-cut your, if you wanted maybe in your silhouette or Cricut cutter, have the shape already pre-cut out, then you can just lay it in there, but I don't do that. So I'm actually going to start on step 2 and just let it stitch my material. As soon as it does this stitch, I'm going to stop the machine and take the hoop out, and then I will trim that material. So we'll go ahead and get the machine started. Okay, I'm going to stop the machine right here and take this out. So you can see it did a nice tack down, and what I'm going to do now is take my double curve scissors, and I'm going to trim all around this. So let's go over to the cutting table and we'll get it cut out. Okay, so now I'm using my double carved scissors, and I'm going to just trim. This is a little tricky to kind of get over the edge of the hoop, but that's another reason I like these double curved scissors. They're nice and sharp. It helps you get down into the hoop, and I'm trimming as close as I can to the stitch line. Little piece in there. I want to trim, get that a little bit closer. So now we have that ready to go back into the hoop, and it will start embroidering our design here. We'll get down to our very last stitch before we take this material, and then we'll place it underneath to do the backs. So let's go back to the embroidery machine and start stitching. Alright, putting our hoop back on. I'm going to go ahead and start our machine and let it start stitching and doing our design. caught up in it. Get that out of the way. Now we need to check our bobbin. We ran out of bobbin. Let me change this bobbin real fast. Okay, so now we are going to stop the machine. We have over here the last step, and what we are going to do now is we are taking our quilt batting and the backing piece, same that matches. I'm going to just slide this under and make sure it covers. Now you can get, they say to tape it on. I think it's just as easy, and one less step I don't need to do. So I'm just sliding this under here, and then I'm going to hit start. It's going to do a tack down stitch. It will stitch all the way around, and then I'm going to take it off and I will trim the back just like we did the front. Okay, so it's done the tack down stitch. Stopping the machine. And as you can see, this is the back. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to go trim this with the double curved scissors, just like I did the front, and then we'll put it back on the machine. So let's go trim it. Okay, so now we have the back. We wanted to trim the material and the batting. So we are trimming both layers, and we want to trim right next to our stitch line. Just be very careful not to cut that stitch line. Okay, so now we've trimmed off the excess, and we're going to go put this back on the machine, and it will do the satin stitch. I'm going to go ahead and just trim a couple of these little threads that needed it. So we're going to go put this back on the machine and finish up that satin stitch and finish up our ornament. Okay, let's start the machine and finish up our ornament. And our design is done. Let's see, let's take this off the machine now. And there we have our cute little mouse ornament. I'm going to pop it out of the hoop. And now what we need to do is we are just going to tear it and take it out. But isn't that adorable? Zoom out here just 1 second. Okay, so now we have this, the tear away does exactly what it says it does. It tears away, and we just pull off this excess. I want to show you the back too. We'll need to cut open, use your seam ripper, cut open the buttonhole, but you have a finished front and back ornament ready to put on the tree. So now we just got to finish up the rest of the month and do our countdown. So I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Again, this is an Advent calendar design that is from Designs by Juju. Information is in the comments. Thanks for joining us. I hope you'll subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell if you want to be alerted to when our next video is going to be. And have a great day and a great holiday.